Sometimes when you do a build, it's just meant to get you across the finish line once. It's not meant to withstand the test of time, and it's not meant to be utilized more than you absolutely have to use it to get you to something better. And this is an example of one of those builds. What's up, everybody? I'm James. Welcome to Mechanical Mayhem, and welcome back to the Mech Lab. This is where I look at a particular game, at a particular mech, to discuss a particular build. In this case, we're looking at the Gargoyle. The Gargoyle is an 80-ton assault mech, and being the first assault omni mech we get in the game, it can be a welcome addition to your star. If you're looking to do custom builds for this thing, we're only going to have access to the Prime Omnipod set because there is no hero mech for this, meaning this is a RePrime. This is a build you can do right out the gate. Now, much like my Viper RePrime, this is really just meant to get you across the finish line. This isn't exactly the bestest of builds you're going to run, and it's not really a build I would run past the first mission with this thing, either on yourself or on one of your star mates, so you can start unlocking Omnipod sets. That being said, let's still take a look at it. So it's the Prime Omnipod set only, as you can see, meaning we don't have that much to work with. I keep the small laser in the center torso where it was, so that stays, and I keep the LV5X autocannons where they were, and I keep them in their cluster shot configuration. I remove the SRMs and their ammo, and then I add an extra ton of LV5X autocannon ammo, and then I add armor. Now I put 1 ton of armor in the center torso and a half ton everywhere else. So 1/2 ton is in the right torso, the left arm, the right arm, and both the left and right legs. Now the legs you could maneuver a bit. You could take that armor out of the legs and put it into your torso or your arms or wherever you want outside of the legs. That has room for that, if you so desire. I put them here as extra insurance because I've noticed on the higher difficulty options for the campaign that the enemy AI will sometimes go for the legs, and I notice they tend to go for the legs on the beefier mechs for sure. So this is just meant to kind of delay a full-on legging of the mech by maybe a few seconds, which could buy the star plenty of time to knock out the mech before it even happens. So it's just a little bit extra insurance, but you can easily just do away with the armor on the legs and put it in both your arms or in both your side torsos, or in one side torso and one arm, or whatever you feel you want. And that's it. Despite the mech having a very low kind of firepower rating, the DPS rating isn't bad, and it has respectable armor of 653, right? So if you look at the marketplace, we can see the stock Gargoyle is going to have a base armor of a flat 500. Not bad, but we definitely improved it with this build. So, with that said, let's check it out in the sim pod really quick at the shooting range to see exactly how it fires and how it handles. Remember, sim pod is not going to give you the best in terms of accuracy for damage numbers on mechs because these are the lowest level AI. There's no damage reduction or anything like that going on in here. But it's still going to be a solid way to test out builds, the cadence of shots, how the heat efficiency is, and so on. Now, back in my Summoner RePrime video, couple episodes back of the Mech Lab, I talked about it being a dueler kind of setup. And there was a comment, which was very valid, saying it's also like a harasser. And especially with its jump jets and everything, that's very true. This build, I feel, definitely fits in that harasser style of role. It doesn't have jump jets, but it really is just about peppering the target nonstop and being a general menace to the enemy. So we can see the LV5X autocannon fires at a pretty decent rate of fire. Now I'm intentionally trying to stay away from the center torso, but you can see how much the spread lets the shots damage more than one aspect of the mech. And also miss a little bit, which is, par for the course. But we also have that small laser to help out with this as well. So this mech can harass the enemy as well as do decent, especially a little bit closer where there's less spread, against aircraft and ground vehicles as well. Now, we're just going to hold fire down for both the laser and the LV5s on this Marauder until it is destroyed, not to see how fast it shoots, because it's not going to be a one mech wrecking crew and it's not going to win any speed awards, but just to kind of showcase everything else. So we can see a very respectable rate of fire on the LV5s. We can see the spread kind of shotgunning the entirety of the mech. So even though we're aiming at the center torso, which is definitely getting hit, we see the rest of the mech took some damage. And our heat is virtually non-existent, so we never have to worry about this mech overheating. I'm scanning this ammo crate so you can see that we have 360 shots total. With 2 LB5X autocannons, that means we can fire 180 shots because we're firing 2 every time, which is going to be plenty. It made it seem like it's not, but that is a good amount, especially when you're in missions like where this, where you would be in the campaign anyway for this mech, because a lot of them tend to have an ammo crate somewhere or a mech bay to make use of if you need to. However, personally, I wouldn't even make use of this mech myself. I would use it, or not use it, I would give it to one of my star mates to use and pilot it after I unlock a Omnipod set for the thing. But if you were to use it yourself, obviously you could pay much closer attention to your ammo consumption, issue more orders, whatever the case might be. If you like being more of a battlefield commander role in this game, then this could actually work out pretty decently well for you, because you can stay at a decent pace back from the enemy and still provide support and harassment while micromanaging the orders you give to your star. So, kind of add a little benefit there. In any case, there's not too much else to say. The small laser is really just there for insurance and to feel better. In case you do get low on ammo, you can just go, well, at least I got a small laser, right? But really the LV5 autocannon is where it's at for this mech in terms of being punchy and harassy, because it's definitely fulfilling that role. And it's got some extra survivability because of the armor. So you throw it together, you give it to one of your star mates. That's what I do. I give the Gargoyle originally to one of my star mates. They get it through a mission with you. You unlock an Omnipod set for it, and then you can start making some pretty stellar builds for the Gargoyle. This one isn't bad. It's just not really anything to write home about. It's pretty much bare bones basic, just get me through a mission style, much like the Viper RePrime was. And then from there, much like the Viper, you can start unlocking Omnipod sets to make some really awesome builds for this mech. Anyways, that's really all I got for you on the Gargoyle. How do you handle, if you have, or how would you handle if you haven't given it a thought yet? Give it a quick thought and let me know how you would handle a RePrime of the Gargoyle. You could theoretically make it a SRM boat. Technically, you probably would have more ammo because it's lighter weight weapon platform. But you run the risk of, that. You could also upgrade them to streaks if you wanted to, and you could do that too. So there's definitely some options. You could trade out the LB5Xs for Ultra autocannons, right? So what would you do? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much for taking the time to stop by and check out this video. Any other questions, comments, or requests, leave them in the comment section. And until next time, take care.